You're asking
Yeah,
why?
honestly, so if we're gonna segue into bodybuilding and prepping for a show, I guess just to sum up Tristan and him as a trainer and his passion for hunting and encompassing all that together, I think for the most part, you could say that Tristan is very passionate about helping others see what he saw. This is what I'm getting. Like, I see that you liked hunting a lot, and it trumped your view on sports, and you've bounced back from your why. Like, why do I want to do this?
Yeah.
You're passionate about hunting because it fulfills you and it fills your glass. You were passionate about sports probably because societally it made sense and people were like, oh man, you can play sports. You're so cool. So you start draining your cup. And then you re-poured back into your cup. This is what I see. This is the beautifulness that I see in your life.
And
you go back to it because you know it's right for you.
Yeah. And that was, dude, growing basketball. I loved basketball. Like, it was all I wanted to do, but I let people drain me of that. Like, I let people like
suck that down.
Yeah. Suck it out of me. And I just wasn't mentally tough enough to.
Your why started changing.
Yeah.
You were playing because you loved playing basketball. And then people are like, oh, you're not very good. You're not very tall. You're not very big.
Yeah. I was dealing with and I didn't have, it makes a difference when you don't have friends on a team. Like, you don't get along with your teammates. That makes a big difference. And that started happening. And then that just drains you when you don't have friends on the team.
Yeah.
That was my buddy, my best friend. He graduated the year before me.
Yeah.
And he was with me through the 3 years or whatever of basketball. So I had someone that I was buddies with. And then when he was gone and I played halfway through my senior year and I was just like, dude, I'm miserable doing this. Like, I love this sport, but the people I'm around and just the management of it, I just couldn't, it just drained me. And I packed up my jerseys in a plastic bag and I handed them to the coach one day at school. And I was like, I'm done.
I'm done with it.
Yeah. So
it's interesting.
I wouldn't recommend that to anyone, by the way.
No.
If you love a sport and there's other stuff, you just got to mentally build yourself up.
Oh yeah. We could talk on that too.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people who are passionate about something and they literally, it becomes a thorn. Like I was talking about in class today, it becomes a thorn in your side now. Like, basketball is a thorn in my side. I don't like to play it because it just reminds me of the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's going back.
Stop cussing.
I know.
Looking back, I would not have quit. I would have just tried to stick it to the people that were like,
and that's the way I was.
Assholes.
Dude, I didn't have friends. I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. I was liked by everybody, but I didn't have a lot of friends because I was an enabler and I wasn't doing it for myself ever. I was never doing anything for myself. I was trying to keep the peace and I was trying to make everybody happy. And that was me in a nutshell. And that's why I'm a good trainer.
Good quality.
Yeah.
For training for sure.
But anyway, so going back to Tristan. He is very passionate about helping people find their passion and I guess exuding that through fitness.
Yeah, I just feel like fitness is a great avenue to find that. Because when you mentally have strengthened yourself, it's way easier to figure out what your passion is or what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
A lot of people go through their whole life trying to figure out what it is they're supposed to do. And I feel like that's because they don't have the mental strength or discipline to find it.
Yeah, and I think they're looking under every rock except for the one that's sitting next to them.
And that's why I said, like, going back, you have to look back at what fulfilled you as a kid. Because that's where everything did. When people, I don't know.
We get screwed up from the time we get on this earth. We start getting screwed up because of this.
It's
this.
Yeah.
The
and
brain.
Dude, we're talking about the tough things and how the hard things are what fulfills us. You know, those little like boxes that have shapes that you can put through them, and you'll give them to your kids, and they try to figure out what does a kid do when they get something right and they fit it through the right thing. They get excited and they like cheer. It's because that's what's built into us. Yeah. When you succeed or when you do something, you're excited.
And this is where we're going wrong as humanity. We got dads, and this is what I try to teach kids. Like, let them do what they're going to do. I don't teach my sons by telling them how to do it. I don't teach them by telling them the way that they need to do it or what they need to do. I let them experience it for themselves. And then I ask them a question. How'd that make you feel? Do you like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think on our society, I mean, in my case, like, My family was telling me what I had to do and how to do it and like the way that I should be doing it. And society was also doing the same thing. And that's where it messes us up and takes us out of what we're supposed to be doing in our innate human soul.
Yeah.
And puts us in a position where we're doing things that we're like, I don't
told
like this.
to do.
I was just told to.
Yeah.
It's a job. Life's a job.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's to experience and live and understand the connection that we have right now, you know?
Well, that's the thing too, dude. You hear people say it. And if your job is what you're supposed to, like what you're actually put here to do, you're going to enjoy it. There's going to be days that suck. Obviously there's always going to be days that suck.
Yeah.
But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to complain about it. That's your job. Yeah. Like some days are going to be tough, obviously. And you'll be like, oh, this sucks. That's with everything. But if you're doing what you were put here to do, like that's it.
And that's where I feel like you and I have that strong power to guide people in that sense. Because we have the right thing in our heart. You know, we're trying to help these people find themselves.
Yeah.
It's not, I want you to do a bodybuilding competition because I could make you look like this. And it's me who got you there. And it's me who, I hate that in trainers. I hate that. Everything's about them. I can do this for you. I can make you a better person. I can, you know.
And I do, dude. I love seeing people lose weight or someone get shredded or someone build a ton of muscle. I love seeing that because I know how it makes you feel.
And then when they come back to me and they're like, dude, thank you. If it weren't for you, and I'm like, no, that's you.
Like, we're just here to help you.
Yeah.
All I did was
I
guide you. I can't tell you or make you do anything. You did it.
You're the one that, you know, went under the bar and did the weight.
Yeah.
I just stood there and told you kind of, fix.
Yep.
I know. And that's where I just get conflicted. I never try to say I'm the best trainer in town. I never try to say I'm the best business in town. I just say, if you see my business and it calls to you, then come train with me.
Well, that's what I tell people too. I'm like, I can give you every single tool, everything you need to do. But if you don't do it and put in the work,
pointless.
it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And
And that's good. That's good. I like that a lot. And that's a huge reason why I wanted, like, I knew from the first conversation we had, I'm like, me and this guy are 100% alike.
Yeah.
We have the same drive. We have the same motivation, the same passion for people.
Well, dude, if you just focus on helping people, everything else will fall into line.
Exactly.
Because that's every successful business, any successful social media, anything. If you look at them, it's because they're helping people in some way.
Yeah.
It might be by entertainment or by information. Something in any way, it's helping people.
Yeah.
It's helping them do something better, or it's providing a service. That's the most successful businesses in the world. That's what.
And not only that, like, say you're a garage door guy, like you fix people's garage doors, but you're a good human being and you have an interaction with that person, and you light up their day and you have a conversation that changes their life.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And you're helping them solve a problem. They don't know how to put that garage door in.
Exactly.
So you're helping them with that problem.
In a situation.
It's always,
it all melts together. There's a place and time for you in everybody's life. And you just have to experience it. And you can't have any standards for who you are and what you do. Just be a good person. Help people when they need it. Don't help them when they don't. Love yourself. Live life.
And make millions.
Yes. All right. So let's segue now. Now that we know Tristan, he's going through let's talk about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And kind of like what that is in the grand scheme of life. When did you start?
So first competition or for this one?
Just bodybuilding in general. Pretty much when you started lifting weights.
Yeah, basically. Well, at first I grew up like super skinny. I graduated high school at 132 pounds. And that was the biggest I had got through all of high school. And I hated being small. Like even still to this day, wearing shorts, like it messes with my head because I've always had such small legs. And that's when you're in high school.
Bro.
When you're in high school, kids are dicks. So they say stuff all the time. So whenever I'd wear shorts or something, you'd hear like people would say crap about like your legs and stuff, whatever. But that feeling is what really got me into the gym. And then I started seeing, like, packing on some muscle. And I started following. At that time, it was like, I don't know if you guys might not know, but like a David Lade.
David Lade.
Yeah. Jim Shark was really big.
Yeah.
And I started seeing those guys, and they were in like the aesthetics and like men's physique bodybuilding type of stuff. And that's what kind of started bringing me towards that. I found out about Christian Guzman, who created Alphalete, the gym clothing. And I watched some of his competitions and I was like, dude, and he actually puts on a competition called Summer Shredding in Houston.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
cool.
I want to do this. And that was, I've always looked at like your bodybuilders, like big bodybuilders, like Big Ramy or Ronnie Coleman. I'm like, I never want to do that. Like, I don't ever want to look like that. But the men's physique.
Green, man.
Yeah. Him too.
Freak.
And yeah, he's a vegan too. But that's that's the men's physique stuff though always intrigued me because it just, to me, it looked aesthetically pleasing and you were in board shorts. It wasn't like you were wearing a thong or something like, and I'd never wanted to
back to Kai Green.
Yeah.
Dancing on stage.
The one who's a vegan.
Yeah. And I just wanted to experience it. So I competed, did an absolutely horrible cut, had no idea what I was doing, lost probably the 3 years of lifting I had, I probably lost 50% of that muscle during my cut because I did it so wrong. Just crash dieted for like 3 or 4 weeks. Looked like crap on stage, which I knew going down there I wasn't going to place because I just knew what the people were going to look like. But I wanted to experience it. And then, dude, I got out on stage and I loved being on stage and I loved that. And then it put like a bug in me, like, dude, I have to like do good in the show now. Like I just have to do good in one. And then after I compete in this one, we'll see. I'm definitely feeling like I want to get more towards functional training and still put in bodybuilding stuff, but I don't think I could ever get to that level anyways of like a professional. I could, but taking my health to that level, I don't think I ever want to do that. And so I just want to compete in it. I just want to do good in one. I want to place in one. And then I don't want to say I won't, but I don't know if I would compete in one again just because if I do something, I want to try to be the best at it. Like if I compete, I want to be like one of the best people in men's physique. And I know that I probably don't want to push myself to that.
Well, I mean, even if you did have the perfect physique and like looked, 100% perfect, do you feel like I feel like there's something else with it. There's some politics involved when it comes to bodybuilding in general.
Oh, there is with everything. I mean, if you have a big name and you have a big following on social media, you're going to place better.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just an innate thing. But then there is some people that have the big followings that are undeniable. Like Chris Bumstead is undeniably to me one of the best classic physique.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most followed too. And people say it's like politics and stuff, but like, no, it's undeniable. He's one of them.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing that bodybuilding really encompasses though, is like that I didn't know about. Like I knew how to get into the gym and work my ace off, and push myself to that next level. And I learned how to diet. I knew that I would have to do a specific diet and follow it to a T, but those were the easy parts. But then you got like posing, right?
Oh yeah. There's a lot that goes into it.
Oh yeah.
You got posing, stage presence. So now social media following, because it's a huge factor. And, the spray tan, what type of shorts you're wearing. Like there's so much that goes into it. That's not just
you can't
what
just
I thought
have
it was.
the body.
I specifically did it because I like to lift weights. I like to work out. And I wanted to see what I look like shredded because like throughout my entire sports career, even like I was never really shredded. I'd always be anywhere from like 12 to 18% body fat.
Yeah.
And now I like hold from like 8 to 12. It's weird.
And that's thinking about it, hearing you say that, the reason I wanted to compete and I want to compete is I like competition. Like I wanted to find a way to like compete within fitness, like something to like compete against people. And that's what it was.
Same.
That's what made me want to do it, was I want to compete against people.
Like to be,
and I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to get the physique that most or power lifters have. I didn't want to have that type of physique, like a thick, chunky physique. I didn't want to build that. So as looking at something to compete in, like men's physique was what I wanted to look like too. And I could still compete in it. So that's why I looked like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Right.
But, and then I knew like marathons and stuff, most guys that run, they don't have like huge muscular legs. Like a lot of them are pretty lean. Like, and I was like, okay, I need to stay away from that because I already have small legs.
I feel you.
But that was just men's physique was like what caught my eye, and I wanted to compete against someone. And now I have that bug, like I need to place in one.
That driving factor.
Yeah. like I need to do well in it. If I want to put it away and not do it again, I need to do well in it first.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's just something like 75 hard. When I did 75 hard and failed it, every day it ate at me like, dude, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to finish it.
You got to do
And
it.
then I finished it. And then it's just like something that I'll put away. And if I ever do it again, I'll know what to do.
At the right time.
Yeah.
Comes back.
And that's like the thing. I might, who knows, if I compete and do well in it, I might really get the bug.
Maybe
really
that's
want to
the thing.
compete.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and I can't say right now if I'll want, you have to push your health to the extremes to get to a pro level. And that's just how it is.
And I think that's, I think it's physically, it's damaging.
And that's what people have to realize. Like, it's an extreme sport. It's not, and any extreme sport is not good on your body.
No.
And that's just, it's not a lifetime thing. It's something you do for 5 or 8 years and you're done.
It becomes an experience, right? Something that you grow wisdom from.
And you have to be willing to accept the consequences that might come with what you're about to do.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to be accepting of what's going to happen and you have to know.
Yeah, that's a big factor that it kind of draws in, is with all this fitness stuff and taking things to an extreme, is it really shows people to accept that, because people don't. Like when I did it, and I know a lot of people who did do a show, they like get on stage and they're like, yeah, well, I mean, I prepped so hard and it was really good, but I almost made top 5, and like, you know, making all these excuses and this and that, but like just accepting the fact. For me, I did my first show and my spray tan was smeared from sleeping like this the night before.
No.
My handprint, they went like way overboard on the spray tan. So it looked like crap anyway. You can't even see like all my muscle figurations. Like it looked terrible. It was way too dark. And then, so that's a huge factor. Like, and I didn't think about that. So I just got some generic spray tan.
Yeah.
And then I got on stage, and I'm not kidding you, I don't think I practiced an hour of posing.
Yeah, that's the big no.
I watched the poses and understood them, and then I never practiced them. So, and then my smile.
And it's completely different when you're on a stage in front of people.
Yeah.
You're not just posing like in your room. You're in front of people now, and you're like, okay.
So spray tan, crap. Smile. And posing, am I posing correctly? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
when I was up there, I was like, what the fuck am I doing right now?
And that's, well, dude, when summer shredding, this shows you how much I didn't practice posing enough. I went out and I hit a classic men's physique pose in a men's physique competition. So I hit a back double bicep pose, and that's you don't do that in a men's physique.
You set a new standard.
And I hadn't practiced enough either. So that's something really big I'm doing right now, is just posing after every training session.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's cool it's just all that stuff's really interesting to me, just watching it, the posing. And it is like I said, just seeing what your bodies can achieve is insane to me.
Oh yeah,
Insane.
absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
and how to get there and how you respond to. It's cool to experiment with like the foods that you're eating and whatnot, and how it responds to your water levels.
Yeah.
And if you're shredded and all that, like the experimental value of it's great.
Yeah.
And then the other thing on top of that is it teaches you discipline, because you got to eat exactly what you're eating, no matter how you feel.
Yeah.
So you're disciplined to fulfilling that, right?
Yeah, dude. And if you do a competition and that's the only one you do, that's just another tool in the belt. You know how to do something. If you ever, it's just more experience and more knowledge that you're gonna have. Doesn't mean you have to become a pro. It's just
no. And that's what I took from it. There's a lot of good things I took from it. And posing, like the second time I did a show, I did learn how to pose. Yeah. And just posing, it was like activating things that weren't, because when you look in the mirror and you flex or you pose or whatever, and like you're like, God, I look goofy. Like, how come I can't, like, why are my hips like that? Like learning how to put yourself in a biomechanical position to get everything to flex right actually teaches you how to stabilize your core.
And the mind muscle connection when you're doing a lift, you connect so much better with, like, if you pose, I've done this, like a back workout, I'll do back poses in between my lifts. And it is insane the mind muscle connection you get after you've hit a pose and then do a lift.
Okay.
And that is a huge benefit to it. It's a huge benefit to it, because you're thinking about those poses and you're making those connections. This is great for athletes too. And granted, just like social media it could have negative effects. The negative effect is that you're looking in the mirror now, and the reason why you're flexing and lifting those muscles is narcissistic now. And that's where I think a lot of athletes go instead of actually like, wow, my posture is wrong. My mechanics are wrong, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely
I think that was a huge takeaway for me.
Yeah.
Was that being able to do that. So now here you are, how far out?
7 weeks almost.
7 weeks.
I think tomorrow will be 7 weeks. Yeah. 7 or 8. I think it's 7.
He does not have any brain fog from lack of calories.
It's actually mine. I can not luckily, it's pretty easy for me to lose weight just because I've always had such a hard time putting on weight.
Fast
So
metabolism.
cutting is easier for me than bulking.
Yeah, actually, I trained a kid like 4 weeks out or 2 weeks out from a show, and he was built the same way. Like I literally had to put him on a 4-week cut, and he took 4th or something.
Yeah,
but
it's just tough because when you cut like that, your protein has to stay so high, but your calories are getting so low.
Yeah,
that it's such a high protein diet that it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to get in 200 grams of protein on 1,500 calories.
Yeah,
I
agree.
So, yeah, when half of your calories are protein, you don't function super well.
No, because your brain, like going to the food portion of it, like your brain reacts off of certain foods that you put in, like your fats, your good fats,
dude, carbs
and your
and
carbohydrates.
Fats is where energy comes from.
Yeah, exactly. And your brain functions off that. So when you start taking that away and you're overusing those through your physicality of lifting, your brain's like,
doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Huh? Right, Danny.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't eaten anything. I had coffee,
but yeah. So being 7 weeks out, I think you're probably starting to get maybe jitters too.
Not really. I mean, it's a local show, so I'm not as nervous. I've already done a show where it was a ton of big people on social media, like people with well over 1 million followers were there and were competing in it.
Yeah.
There was well over 100 people competing in the show. So that one was much more nerve wracking than I haven't really gotten nervous at all for this one yet, just because I watched this show locally and it's not like a huge show.
Right.
So I definitely, though, I know like a couple weeks out, I'll be
freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
Head starts playing tricks on you. And that's where I'd definitely advise having a coach.
No,
because I had a buddy. I mean, he tracked all my stuff and told me which direction I needed to go. And it was more or less the factor that somebody was there saying, you're fine. You're doing good. You look great.
Your head messes with you when you
your head starts messing with you. Yeah.
And I'm doing this one all self coached,
good.
Which it's not, to anyone that competes, that's not ideal. Like you should definitely get a coach, but I want to do it by myself. I had a coach in the last one and I just want to I want to push myself to do it by myself. And I might ask people around me like, hey, am I actually looking like this right now? Or am I just in my head?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with a coach is they're there to tell you, like, you don't actually look like this. Your head's messing with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you because you see yourself every single day and you're constantly having to look at yourself in the mirror and stuff.
Yeah.
So has that played an effect on you? Like for me, narcissism is hard. Like I was saying before, I'm more of a person and
be careful of that. You're gonna pull that plug out the back.
Sorry, I'm playing with it.
Definitely did.
Did I really? Oh no.
Stop touching it.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Play with your hat or something.
So
sorry, I'd hate for
I think I did
we should be
it out.
But okay. I just saw it wiggling out. I was like,
yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
I started touching that too.
Did you? I know, I'm like playing with it. I'm like nervous. Anyway, what was I saying?
Narcissism.
Oh yeah, so I started so being a peacekeeper and somebody who takes care of the people around me and like is like always trying to make sure everything around here is better, not myself. Like going into bodybuilding, it created more of the opposite tendency because now I'm like, meals are about me. Food is about me. I got to have the right stuff. I got to look in the mirror. Am I looking good? And then you start talking about nothing but yourself because you're like,
because you get wrapped into it.
Yeah.
Like, because you just mentioned all those things.
It's just normal.
I, and you're not doing it in the frame of being, narcissistic, but it kind of makes your mind go in.
Yeah, it drags you in.
Yeah.
It drags you into that. And it just becomes all about you and life becomes all about you. Literally, because with this, as you know, like it consumes your entire life.
Yeah.
Your diet from the amount of sleep you get, everything.
Yeah, it does for sure. But that's where like the mental discipline comes in. Like being married, there's still stuff like I can't put all my chips in on one plate, I guess. I can't just completely commit or have my whole life revolve around it because there's other stuff that if I neglect, then that will fall apart and I can't let that happen. So it's just one of those things I feel like you have to mentally prepare yourself for it.
You gotta,
And what
you
it's
gotta,
gonna be. Yeah. And the biggest thing I struggle with is just looking at myself and how I look. Cause I feel like I look worse every day because
Right.
I was someone that was skinny, that had to gain weight, always wanted to be bigger.
So when you go flat, you feel
So when
like,
you start
Mhm.
losing weight on purpose for
Mhm.
something, that's the mental thing with me that like,
Okay.
I just feel like I'm getting skinnier and I look worse.
Brings
each
you
week.
back to
Yeah.
younger you. Like, I don't like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's
Like-
body dysmorphia is a real thing. And I
so
feel like,
talking about that, I think standard and expectation also comes into play with that.
Mhm.
Like if you have certain standards for yourself because you were a certain size when you were younger,
yeah.
and then you set a standard that like I got to be 200 pounds all the time.
Mhm.
I got to look big in order to feel comfortable.
Yep.
Rather than just being comfortable.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's what, with bodybuilding, that comes hand in hand though. It does, because it's a never satisfying sport.
Yeah.
A never satisfied sport.
And that's like just what we were talking about. It's with everything. It just depends on the intention you have behind it. And like we were saying, it's kind of the same thing. There's going to be bad people in everything.
Yeah.
Anything you do, same thing with bodybuilding. You're either going to be like a narcissist and you're not going to care about anyone but yourself, or you're just doing it to challenge yourself and to see where you can take your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in turn, it'll help with your training.
Yeah.
Like when you train people.
Well, that's
you'll
when you
gone
have that
through some
experience
crazy
of it.
thing that, yeah, this works. Obviously, it's all, I mean, it's you personally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same for everyone. But
Yeah.
no matter what happens, wherever you place in that
Mhm.
competition, like you'll come out.
With
Hopefully, I mean,
experience.
you're
Yeah.
not the kind of person that's going to not take anything and better yourself with
Well, yeah.
information,
Yeah.
even if you
learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which would be awesome because you'll get to take that into
Mm-hmm.
your
Yeah.
current clients and future clients and
And that's the thing. I might do it and I might fall in love with it. I might want to compete.
well, that, yeah.
That I don't know yet because it's just not here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I have a completely different outlook when I'm a week out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know your
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
brain's
make
changed.
we'll do an episode right before you do it, and
Yeah.
Tristan
you're gonna
has no brain cells and
Mhm.
he's ready to compete.
we'll make sure you do your shirt off
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
in the but you have to stand up because sitting is not the best
Mhm.
of situations.
And get your
Yeah.
straight to
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to do another one. I mean, we don't have to do another one based off of that before, but definitely
Like a week
after,
out.
or even after.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how you
Yeah.
how it
have the
went,
big trophy.
obviously, but how you feel and
Have the big trophy.
yeah, it's just like
I love it. So are you doing you're doing physique or
men's physique. Yeah. Board
Okay.
shorts.
board shorts? That's what I did too, because I didn't want to take it to an extreme.
Mhm.
Like I don't need to get massive or whatever, you know.
That's for
Yeah.
a local show. you don't have to
100%
be-
bodybuilding was just for me, it was just an experience that
Yeah.
I wanted to go through to help people because it was a big thing. People were into it. And like, I can help people because a lot of people did. They're like, can you get me ready for a show? And I'm like, never done one.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
just
might as well do one.
Yeah. For me, I have a very competitive nature. So I
Yeah.
just want to compete. in
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And I love fitness and I want to do something competitive with it.
Yeah, I gotcha. I think we all have that point in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
what do you guys say? I
We're
want to wrap this up. I have to pee. And my
Daniel
dog
has
probably
to
has
pee.
to as well.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, I do have one question. You were saying, was it back double bi? You don't do in
Not
men's
men's
physique.
physique.
So
no.
why is that?
It's just they have different posing, I guess, restrictions for different classes. So classic physique, like Chris Bumstead, is a
Yeah.
lot more. You're a lot freely allowed to do a lot more poses. Like it's
Okay.
a lot of for like men's physique, they pretty much want your front pose and then a back pose with your arms out, and that's all they're judging.
Like the
off
lat
of.
spread.
Yeah,
kinda.
it's not like classic physique. It's a lot more like they're judging everything, like biceps, like every muscle
Okay.
pretty much. And then bodybuilding is even like is everything. They're
Yeah.
looking at
Okay.
everything. That's like men's physique. your legs are completely taken out of the equation. That's why you wear board shorts. And then classic physique is like boxer, like briefs almost.
Yeah.
Because they judge legs, but men's physique is board shorts, so it's all just upper body. That's why they have you hit the 2 main poses, front, back, because that's what they're looking
So
at.
even, well, obviously you're not showing, your quads and
quads
stuff. So calves.
They say that doesn't play into it,
help.
but I think it might, because you look more aesthetically pleasing with bigger.
Because it'll help. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
It's all subject to. That's
know.
the thing with bodybuilding or physique competitions. It's all subject to what the judges see.
Exactly.
And what they think looks better.
And that's why it kind of deters me. And I've heard this from judges, local judges, like they don't really, I mean, they look at the work that you put in, but like as much work as you put in there and as much time and money you spend on it, like the way that they judge it just kind of gave me a bad taste in my mouth when I hear a judge say, honestly, with the bikini girls, we just look at the one that we want to bang the most. And that's who we vote for. I'm like,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I literally heard that from one of the judges. And I'm like, dude, you know how much freaking time they put into the gym and how much money they spent. And that's
the
how
comment
you're judging.
You make on
you don't actually look at their aesthetics, if they're balanced, like actually judge. Dude, that killed me.
Yeah.
Granted, not every judge is probably like that.
No,
obviously.
No, of course.
That's the thing, though. It's just subjective to what.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not like a set. It's not like a basketball game where you're winning. Whoever scores the most is going to win.
Yeah.
It's their opinion.
That's why I couldn't find the competitiveness in it, because I'm just like, what are you judging off of? And like,
someone's bicep peak might just look a slight bit, I don't know,
a little bit taller,
more of a taller peak than the more rounded out,
it's
like
just whatever that judge is looking for that day,
or like the calf muscle. This kind of like there's different
and that's what
shapes,
they look at, and that's the thing. Some people's genetics, like their muscles are just inserted better, and it just looks more aesthetically pleasing. But most of the time in like physique or bodybuilding, they're looking for conditioning and size. Whoever has the best conditioning and whoever is the biggest, pretty much is what it is.
Conditioning being
like leanness, like as lean as you can get.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. But that's pretty much what they look for in that. And then muscle insertion matters, because some people's biceps look like crap, no matter how big they are.
Some look like straight.
Yep. Some people's just look
peak up like that.
See, mine, I don't, obviously I feel like I don't train necessarily for like that high peak. I feel like I have more of a,
that's totally genetic.
I know, I see when I look at my body as like, I'll maybe try and find a photo when I was maybe more of the biggest that I was. Like I felt more of a resemblance to like the CrossFit bicep.
Oh yeah.
Less of a peak, and it's almost just like a longer bicep. But that's genetics. Like
that's just how it is. And that's like some people are just built to compete. Like Chris Bumstead was built to compete.
Yeah.
That's his physique is built for that.
Arnold's
insane.
Yeah.
He was built
Same
for
thing.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people, like that's like I said, I don't think whatever I did, whatever PEDs or whatever I use, as hard as I train out, I could never get that level, because I just don't have, I'm just not designed for that.
It's just like, so if you go to any sport, right? Like Lance Armstrong. Sorry, no, I always do this. Who's a swimmer? Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps wouldn't go on a track and try to run a mile.
Yeah.
Because he's not built that way. He's built like a swimmer. Literally has shoulders wide, long, crappy legs. Like he can swim. He would not go on a track. He was built for that. And that's exactly what it is. And that goes back to finding what you're passionate about and what you're good at and where you fit. And play around and do different things and try different things out, but figure out what you are really like and what you're really good at. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I feel like, just to end it, there's no one thing. Do things that are going to make you happy and fulfill you. Do it for the right reasons, and that's all there is to it. You can't care what other people, if people think you're being like narcissistic or whatever, you know what you're doing and why you're doing it and what your heart posture is on it. And that's all that matters.
Because I'm not you and you're not me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to do it for yourself. And that's, to me, that's just it. Do it for what you want to do. And if with good intentions, you know what your intentions are, and you know if you're being selfish or if you're just, like, people know, you know what you're doing it for. And that's just what it comes down to.
100% agree. 100% agree. Well, good on you. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Stoked to see the transformation.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane.
We'll see how good I do.
So if you guys get a chance, follow Tristan Sampson on Instagram. His handle
We'll
obviously
all the links
to all the
stuff.
YouTube stuff. See how his progress grows through his bodybuilding show for one, and number two, his program with hunting, his passion, and how he links that to fitness and how he helps people out. Great trainer, great one-on-one. Gonna have groups. He's a great group leader and can help you get to where you're gonna go. So follow him up. Reach out if you need his help.
Thanks, man.
You bet, dude.
Then if you made it to the end, we're actually giving away 10 grand to whoever watched to the end of this video.
Yeah. So
allegedly,
you gotta tag 3
allegedly
people in all of our Instagrams and like all of our photos.
But yeah, and you have to come fly to us. Come pick it up. No delivery.
10 grand.
And bring the 10 grand yourself.
And
bring me dinner for a week.
Yeah.
That's a long one.
Sweet.